coming in. Yeah, flex, I just wanna win. Yeah, LABB, who we running with. Yeah, 2233, I'm on 10 again. Yeah.
Yo, what up? It's your boy Jeffrey, aka Papa J, and listen, we are back at it again with another episode of Just Talking with Jeffrey. And listen, like always, man, it's another episode with my boy Elo Speaks. Well, I think this is our third episode again. No, actually, this is our fourth. But one of them, unfortunately, we wasn't able to actually get it out. Audio was all jacked. They had a lot of issues, and we had to throw that, in the coffers. But, that's all right. We came back. We was like, man, listen, we're going to have a lot more to talk about. We're going to have a lot more to bring to y'all. So, yeah, man, here we are today. Today, though, we was going to mix it up, and we was going to have NBA talk, a little bit of MLB, the lockout, and, that being over. But, man, the last couple of days, literally, maybe last week or so.
This whole week. And I mean, a little bit of last week, too, because, Tom Brady retired, last week, I think it was. Basically shut down March Madness.
Yeah, he definitely shut down March Madness. So with that, I mean, we just said, hey, listen, let's talk NFL. Let's talk NFL, because this offseason, by far, has been, and it's just started, has been one of the craziest off seasons so far. And like I said, we're not even done yet, or the NFL is not even done yet.
I'm talking about like NBA type off seasons where we don't know what type of crazy moves happening next.
Bruh, crazy moves happening left and right, and like literally you gotta keep your phone glued to your hand on ESPN, on Bleacher Report, just in case something comes up. Like, all right, boom, you ready? You got the information right there in front of you, because I'm telling you, like every second something is happening. Like yesterday, matter of fact, and I mean, this is not even one of our topics, but I'm just throwing it out there. I saw the Rams traded Robert Woods to Tennessee, and it's like, yo, I didn't even see that coming. Yeah. Granted, they had a lot of receivers.
They just signed Allen Robinson.
So I mean, listen, they had to get rid of somebody, and Robert Woods was that somebody, unfortunately. And I mean, listen, he landed in a good spot. Tennessee's it's a good spot.
They're a playoff contending team. Yeah, they're
a playoff contending team. You got AJ Brown on one side, and now you got him on the other side. I think it's a pretty good duo. But like I said, man, you just gotta be ready. So let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. First thing, man, we talking about this guy. I'm not gonna lie. One of the episodes, we were excited that this guy was getting ready to leave the league, stop torturing people, and that was very short-lived. Mr. Tom Brady decides to unretire and torture us for a 23rd year. It's crazy, man. Tell me, what's your thoughts on that?
So apparently, Tom Brady spent 2 months with his family. He could have taken, and he decided to unretire again.
He saw the gas prices,
yeah.
just like everybody else, seeing gas prices, and was like, man, it's about to get real out here. So I need to go back into I need to get me another game check.
Yeah, but on a serious note, so I'm not particularly sure what Tom Brady to unretire. Maybe he just felt like there was unfinished business. Maybe he felt like he didn't want to go out like that. I do see like the NFC North, right? The NFC South, by mistake. So it's kind of wide open right now. I mean, who you got like that's really gonna contend against them? The Falcons are trash. The Carolina Panthers, they're like they don't have a QB, and the Saints don't have a QB either. So that's a pretty winnable division. Yeah. So that's an automatic playoff berth right there. And if they could maintain all their key pieces, then they could make a playoff run and potentially win a Super Bowl. And if you always have Tom Brady as your quarterback, then you always have a chance to contend for a Super Bowl. And I heard from Skip Bayless and other media pundits that Tom Brady had slid into Julio Jones' DM because he got recently released from the Tennessee Titans and to come join Tampa Bay. So who knows? Maybe that could be a potential weapon for Tom Brady to use. I understand Julio Jones is not as, he's not as...
He's up there in age.
Yeah, he's up there in age. He's not as surprised as he used to be. But I feel like if anybody could get the most out of Julio Jones, it could be Tom Brady. And that's what I think about it.
I mean, Definitely Tom Brady can make and or break anybody's career because he's just been that guy since he stepped on the field. But we'll see what it is on that end. But I ain't gonna lie. So I heard something else though, that Tom Brady. So this was all a plan and a ploy for Tom Brady to end up in the front office of the Miami Dolphins. Which, listen, as a Dolphin fan, lifelong Dolphin fan, initially I'm like, I don't know about that. I don't know how to feel about that. You killed us for 20 years, and now you want to be an exec for the Dolphins? I don't know how I feel about that. As a true Dolphin fan, right? But then I'm like, man, listen, this guy knows the game. He knows what it is to be on a winning team and how to comprise a winning team. So I'm pretty sure he can be able to do the same thing here in Miami. So for a quick second, I was like, yeah, maybe it could work. Then I heard that Sean Payton was supposed to come over and coach for the Dolphins with Tom Brady being in the front office. And I said, yo, you know what? That's a mastermind plan being put together. And I don't mind it. However, wrench that was thrown into all of this was Brian Flores getting fired. And then not only getting fired, but then talking about the whole racist thing and talking about just still suing the NFL, suing the Miami Dolphins for a number of things. And I was like, dang, okay, that threw a whole wrench in it. And then Tom Brady says, you know what, well, I don't want to have my name run through. Well, allegedly, this is once again everything that's going on behind the scenes and not actual, right? This is not facts. This is just things that's being said throughout many different camps. But yeah, allegedly Tom Brady was like, well, I don't want my name to be involved with that.
Answer unnecessary questions.
Exactly. So you know what? Let me just go back into the league. Let me unretire so that a year of whatever their investigation is into this situation with the Dolphins, let it all blow over. Hey, I got another year under contract with the Bucs. Let me play that last year out, and then when I'm done officially, then let me potentially entertain that idea again. The only negative that I seen behind this, right, because Sean Payton is under contract with the Saints for 3 years. Yeah. So he would have to wait 3 years either for the new Dolphins coach to get fired or for his contract with the Saints to expire, because the Saints will not, just think about it. They will not relinquish his rights as their coach.
And on top of that, the Saints are in salary cap hell.
Exactly.
And they're uncertain at quarterback because, Jameis Winston is a serviceable quarterback, but he's not the quarterback of the future.
Nah.
And Taysom Hill, he's a gimmick. He's a gimmick quarterback. So what could you possibly do with him for the long-term future? So I don't know. It was a good 40 days of Tom Brady retiring. I was happy for those time, but now we have to deal with this job again. So
yeah. Listen. Once again, I'm okay about the fact that he's not technically in the AFC. However, it's still one of those things like he makes it to the Super Bowl.
You have to deal with him.
Like we still technically got to deal with this guy being in the NFL. It's like, hand it over to somebody else. Nah, the guy wants to just continuously hang around and show people, hey, listen, I am the great. Listen, guy, you are slated to be the GOAT in the NFL. Nobody has the numbers that you have.
No franchise.
No franchise has what you have, guy. It's okay to retire. It's okay to say, hey, listen, I'm going to call it quits. And I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to have a lot of teams that's really going to be gunning for him of, hey, listen, now we need to have this guy retire.
Because they're tired of this dude, bro.
They tired of him, man. There's a lot of teams out there that's tired of him, and, they finna come for him.
Yeah, but let's move to other news in sports news right now. So we'll talk about some NFL offseason moves that happened. So recently, Juju Smith-Schuster signed a 1-year deal to the Kansas City Chiefs, and also Khalil Mack got traded to the Chargers, and Amari Cooper got also traded to the Browns. So with those moves right now, all those moves, let's talk about, like, you know, Juju Smith-Schuster. How you think that's going to impact the Kansas City Chiefs offense, making it pause?
So, yes, the rich get richer, but I think that because you have too many pieces, too many, you know, mouths to feed, somebody is not going to like it. And the way Juju carried himself, I think that will actually not be a good fit. And I understand he's just doing this for a setup for his next big contract. So it's like, all right, let me dance around a little bit with, you know, the Chiefs and, you know, work myself towards another big contract. I just don't feel like he's going to actually get enough targets to where, you know, another team will see him and know, hey, listen, Juju Smith, you know, yeah, he has been around. He has, you know, the capabilities of being this all-star, this elite receiver. However, I think he got lost in the fold going to Kansas City. Now, instead of giving him a 4-year, let's say, I don't know what receivers are averaging, let's say 120 mil, we're going to give you a 4-year, 85 mil. Why? Because your numbers don't prove that we should give you a full-on contract. Now, had you gone to, like, let's say Dallas or Atlanta, one of those teams on a 1-year contract, we would have been able to see a lot more. Why? Because you have less to compete with receiver-wise, whereas going to Kansas City, you got these other receivers, and now, hey, listen, did you really, like, put up the numbers that you should have been putting up, being that you in this crowded offense? So I mean, I don't hate the move. I'm just thinking from a different standpoint that it wasn't the best move for him.
I kind of disagree. From that standpoint, I look at it like this: when you have an offense such as the Kansas City Chiefs, where they have Travis Kelce, Cheetah, and etc., that's gonna have less defensive attention your way, so that may provide you with opportunities to get more targets. Now, I always looked at Juju Smith-Schuster as a number 2 wide receiver. I don't think he's a number 1 wide receiver. He's talented, he's good, but you could see his numbers decline as soon as Antonio Brown left Pittsburgh. So I don't see it as a bad move for him. It's not the best move for him, but I don't see it as a bad move for him. This could be a springboard for him to, like, get, like, some extra targets, you know, meet his quotas, get some signing bonuses on his contract, and see where he could go from here. Yeah, he's playing for, like, another contract, but playing with an offense where, like, you don't get the number 1 corner, like, staring you down all the time. You could get possibly the number 2 or number 3 corner staring you down. That's a good opportunity for them to get more catches.
I get that, but McCole Hardman, Demarcus Robinson, you got all these other receivers who are in the same offense, and listen, I think a few of those receivers, maybe Pringle, Hardman, I think Juju's better. Juju's better than Hardman. Pringle, I think he's just a little bit better than Pringle. But you talking about those other receivers who did not demand as much attention as you know, Cheetah, as, you know, Kelce. They didn't get the targets. They didn't get all of that. They didn't get the attention. But yet we're still not getting the numbers. So I think Juju's still going into the offense. It's not going to be one of those things where, all right, well, because Tyreek Hill is on this side and Travis Kelce is on the same side, and you got Juju on the other side, we're going to leave Juju on the island, you know, by himself. Nah, they're going to still give him that attention. And it's going to leave still the McCole Hardman, the Demarcus Robinson, those other receivers is going to still be open. And they're going to still now get more attention because they're going to have to go against the backside linebacker who can't really cover out in space.
I get that.
I mean,
look at it like this.
Is my thoughts.
My only question mark for me, it was how long it's gonna take for Juju Smith-Schuster to be implemented to that offense. But I know from past history with Andy Reid's, he gets the most out of the offense.
That's true.
And his players.
That's true.
So that's why I'm saying like Juju Smith-Schuster will thrive in that offense. Will he be the best number one wide receiver? No,
he ain't no number one.
No, but I feel like he will be productive and have a good season where he can land himself a good contract potentially after the next year, after the year after.
A good contract, yeah. What he should be getting if he, like I said, go to a different team, probably not. But you know, it's something for us to see. It's something for us to see.
All right, so the next offseason move would be Khalil Mack traded to the Chargers. So
that I think was in Khalil Mack's favor. Because you're talking about a defense in the Chargers that already had a stud on one side. Then you had some studs that on the back end as DBs, right? You got a hard hitting safety. You got some corners that, listen, honestly, not to say, I wouldn't say leave them out there on a man-to-man. They're not Xavier Howard type. Yeah, you could, but listen, Khalil Mack still can bend the corner, still can rush the quarterback, can still, line up with the best of them. I think with the Chargers, with what they did this offseason, and even, we didn't even talk about that, or we don't even have that on there, but we're talking about Mike Williams re-signing with them. Listen, that offense stayed together, same offense. Defense just got a little bit better by adding another pass rush, because now Joey Bosa, who led the league in sacks, no, he didn't. He was number 2.
Yeah.
But still, Joey Bosa, who is a known threat on one end, now you got Khalil Mack on the other end as another threat. Yeah. Listen, just think about the Bears when Khalil Mack first went to Bears. I think that's going to be the same type of defense.
Great productive 4 years.
Listen, he is going to. I don't think he's. All right, so last year he lost a step. Had a lot of injuries.
That's what happens when you get older, though.
It does. It is. That's true. But I think he still has enough to where, like, yo, listen, if you're not going to double team me, you can't. That means you double teaming Bosa.
You can't.
And guess what? I'm going to be eating. And if you double teaming me, guess what? You leaving Bosa on the island by himself, and we know what Bosa can do.
And we don't even know what their plans for the draft is. They could probably draft a potential good defensive tackle in the draft, and then he could wreak havoc in the pocket.
Exactly. Now you got him in the middle. So it's like, man, listen, where do you honestly or not even defend, but more or less protect yourself as an offense to where these two dudes ain't just killing you every down like that? Like I said, the Chargers were smart, and that was a good pickup for them. And I just hope the Dolphins don't play them this year, because Lord knows Tua will be running for his life.
Tua was already ready for his life.
He was, but he'll probably be running a little bit more.
Right, so on the next news, we have Amari Cooper traded from the Cowboys to the Browns, and the Browns, that's a whole story in itself. But what do you think about that trade and how it's constructed?
I am not a fan of it. Now, as a player, because he does not have a no trade clause, he cannot dictate as to where he can be traded. He can obviously make suggestions to his agent. His agent can go back to the team and tell the team, this is where my client would like to go. It's not. And at the end of the day, listen, I'm not going to trade you to teams that you really want to go to,
or division rival like that.
Exactly, right? So guess what? I'm going to trade you to the worst of the worst,
aka NFL Siberia.
Yes. And you got between the Browns or the Lions or the Jags to go and end your career.
Basically,
and he is
football purgatory.
Yes, and he is there. And like I said, I like it for the Cowboys because, listen, we got rid of, not to say dead weight.
That $20 million cap hit.
We got rid of dead weight.
He was gonna make $20 million off the cap, and his production just didn't match the numbers.
It didn't match. And then you got CeeDee Lamb who's stepping it up.
Yeah.
And they got Gallup, who is like, listen, all right, he's up and coming.
He's injury. That's the only problem.
Yeah, he's definitely injury prone, but he's still up and coming to where, like, listen, Cooper, if you would have had a breakout year, if you had a Pro Bowl year, listen, I would have kept you.
No choice
but you didn't have that, so like, we're not gonna lose out on anything because you're not here anymore.
And then on top of that, you have to pay Dak. You have to pay Zeke. You gotta pay DeMarcus Lawrence. You have to pay a whole bunch of other Peter, and he was the one of the cap hits that they had.
So it was like, man, I mean, once again, good move for the Cowboys. Terrible move for the Browns, because once again, let me not say terrible. It's a good move because they didn't have a receiver. They didn't have a number one. Peoples-Jones is, I mean, he's up and coming, possibly.
They released Juice, right?
Juice got released, but they're now trying to re-sign him to a 1-year deal. And I think with Watson, who, you know, we'll talk about later, with Watson being there,
that might
I think that actually, yeah. So you know what, we'll see how that works out. But like I said, I mean, I think it was between the two teams, that was a fair trade. Just to be honest,
a fifth and sixth.
Listen, once again, your production did not match last year for you to. I mean, listen, that was a steal for the Browns. I only gave you a 5th, 6th for that.
Yeah.
Man, listen, and on the other end, all right, well, we getting rid of this guy and not gonna take this $20 million hit. Hey, why not? Why not? So, like I said, it was a win-win in that scenario. So,
all right. So on other news, so recent trade that blockbuster trade that went down. Russell Wilson got traded to the Broncos from Seattle, and it looks like Seattle's gonna be on a huge rebuild. And how you think the Broncos season so far is gonna look towards the next season?
You know, it's kind of tough to talk about that one. How because the Broncos started out on fire last year with
Drew Lock.
Nah, they started out with Bridgewater. Bridgewater started the season for them last year. And like I said, they started out on fire. I think they were 4-0. Mm-hmm. And, you know, unexpected 4-0. Between them and Carolina starting out 4-0. I think it was actually 3-0. Whatever it was. You know, it was unexpected. And now you're talking about... And the year fizzled out. You know, you had... Bridgewater get injured. I mean, just a lot of setbacks for them all last year, to where it was, you know, a struggle toward down the end of the year, and obviously they didn't make playoffs. But now you got where this guy, they go out and make the splash of the offseason. I'm talking about in trades. I understand, you know, Watson got traded as well, but that was something that we knew was coming.
But here's the thing, though. Originally, they were supposed to go after Aaron Rodgers in free agency if he would have left Green Bay. But since he re-signed with Green Bay and signed that $200 million contract, they had to repivot and then go after Russell.
Another high-profile quarterback, yeah. Which at that point in time, nobody knew it was going to be Russ.
Yeah.
So for it to come out, because I'm not gonna lie, I think it came out as a surprise to many people that Russ just got traded to the Broncos. Nobody seen that. Everybody saw that if it wasn't Aaron Rodgers, then it wasn't going to be a high-profile quarterback. It may have been another quarterback, but not a high-profile quarterback. And then for it to come out that it was Russell, it was like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They just went from no playoffs
to contenders.
And I'm talking about they have Jerry Jeudy. They got Cortland Sutton. They traded Noah Fant. But you listen, they have an offense to where it's like, yo, we're solid. We're good on offense. Our defense, listen, now through draft, let's add some pieces in there. Let's add, you know, they're going to be kind of out of gas for the next couple of years.
Yeah. Because
they gave up 3 first rounds for this guy. But still, they added, you know, Pat Surtain Jr. last year to their defense. So it's like, listen, we have pieces on defense.
All they got to do is
add a little bit more.
All they got to do is retool the defense in the draft.
And honestly, yo, they are set. their offense is set for the next few years. Russell Wilson, young, and like, yo, now he just got to be able to stay healthy. But he has an O-line that will keep him healthy. I think they have a fair enough O-line that's going to keep him healthy for the year. So
yeah, Seattle O-line was trash.
The man was running every down.
He was running for his life.
Running for his life. So now with this offense, he can stand back there just a little bit longer and get the ball to big receiver Cortland Sutton and speedy, quick, and agile receiver Jerry Jeudy. They are going to be a problem in that AFC. Like, they're going to be a problem. So once again, that's another thing, man. Just keep your eye out. And I think once again, they're also not done with making moves.
Yeah, they're not done retooling this offense.
It's like I said, man, yo, this offseason, like I said, man, it's crazy, and we just got into it. All
right, so on the other news, Aaron Rodgers re-signed for Green Bay for a whopping $200 million contract. I think it was $140 million.
138
guaranteed.
138 guaranteed.
So I didn't personally. I didn't like this move. I feel
150. My bad.
150 million guaranteed. Yeah, but I didn't like the move. I thought he should have left because supposedly all the complaining and whining that he was doing it in like during the season, how he feel like he doesn't have enough help. He feels like the front office not making moves to help him contend for a title. I felt like all of that was like somewhat justified because it's like you drafted a QB and you traded up to draft Jordan Love, and then you got other pieces where you will feel like you were gearing up to either trade him or release him. But then he came off an MVP campaign season, so that way it gave him leverage. And now that he won back-to-back MVPs again, it gave him even more leverage. So it's like, I think they seen how Jordan Love played, and they see that he wasn't ready. And now they feel like, man, if we get rid of Aaron Rodgers, we're not going to really have nothing, because I don't think Jordan Love is ready to take on that daunting task and be the next QB of the future. So now you basically have to placate to Aaron Rodgers and his silly games where how he manipulates the media and try to play victim when he doesn't get his way, or how he tries to threaten retirement or thinking about playing for another team, and all this manipulative media head games, and it's kind of annoying and tiresome. But my problem is how you as a QB, you want help, you want to contend for a title. One thing I can say about Green Bay, they did put a decent defense by you so you could contend for the title. You still came up short. Yes, you won the MVP, but you didn't get it done by losing to the 49ers. And now that you took this huge, big contract, you're going to be eating up at least 2/3 of the cap throughout the next, 4 or 5 years?
4 or 5 years.
So how are you going to sign anybody to a decent long-term contract for the future if you're going to be a majority cap hit at least $50 million moving forward?
Listen, he is not. All right, so we let quick step back, right? A couple of years back, Tom Brady complained about the same thing, right? Not having pieces around him, not having enough help. But you know what they ended up doing? They got serviceable receivers. Serviceable receivers to where, listen, Tom Brady, we know what you can do with these guys. Use what you got. Now you got great tight ends. You got Rob. You got pieces that, listen, they're not all-stars and not, Pro Bowl receivers or tight ends. You got serviceable receivers, serviceable people. But on the other end, hey, we ain't gonna pay you a lot though. We can't pay you a lot. But Tom Brady understood that and he saw that. Man, listen, yes, I'm gonna complain about it, but I'm not complaining about not having all of these pieces that I want and need. But I'm getting paid this buku amount of money. I'm not getting paid a lot of money. He wasn't getting paid a lot of money. I think at one point he was probably like the second highest or third highest paid on his roster.
Yeah.
On the roster. So it's like, yo, he ain't getting paid a lot. So it's like, all right, well, listen, I'm not this greedy person. Granted, I probably want all of it and I deserve all of it.
Who doesn't?
But I'm not getting paid a lot of money and then asking for a lot. So it's like, hey, give me one or the other. I'm on a cap friendly deal. Yeah.
But yeah, you got all this trash around.
Correct. Now, the other side of it, you got your boy Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Greedy. I want the money. And then I also want I need the players. So I think A-Rod, listen. You said it. I'm also saying it. I agree. I think, Green Bay re-signing this guy to the money that he got was dumb because y'all gave all the way in on this guy. And now you had to let go or trade some people because
trade a big piece.
Y'all didn't have the money to go out and pay this guy. To pay those people that are now having to be traded or sent to free agency because once again, y'all gave this guy another 4-year contract for $200 million. Now, let's just kind of fast forward. This guy is probably at the end of this year gonna do the same exact thing. I don't know if I want to be on this team anymore. You know what can I do to stir up some drama?
He can't. He's on a 4-year deal.
Man, that man, just like anybody else, can request a trade and listen, take whatever cap hit, or guess what? Listen, I'm gonna sit. Y'all gonna find me for the entire year, but guess what? It ain't gonna matter because you know what? I just got paid 150 something mil guaranteed. So I don't care to lose 50 mil next year. You can find me, and the most I'm gonna lose is what? Let's say $1 mil, $2 mil for a season, $3 mil for a season. Does it matter to me? No, I don't care. Even if I lose 50 mil for one season to have to sit, it don't matter to me. I just got 150 mil guaranteed. That's in my bank account sitting right now. Lovely. So guess what? Do whatever you want. Either you trade me or I'm going to retire. So, and like I said, Green Bay got the short end of the stick, which was by far one of the dumbest things because based on what we're going to be talking about next,
they played their hand too. They played a bad hand by drafting Jordan Love too soon.
Like, I think that's definitely where it shifted a lot of stuff with Aaron Rodgers because it's like, all right, listen, maybe not going after Jordan Love in the draft.
The way they did it
was right. Hey, Aaron, we need your successor, right? We want to draft your successor. Do you think we should draft him this draft? Maybe if we draft him this draft, do you think we should draft him this high? Like, where do you see? They
traded up to get him.
Exactly, right? And that to me, if I'm quarterback, MVP caliber quarterback, Super Bowl winning quarterback, you go out and not just draft, you move up in the draft to draft another quarterback without saying anything to me. That's my time to leave because now I know. Listen, y'all already looking for the future, and listen, I have no problem with y'all looking towards the future. However, if I'm not included in that, if y'all not saying, "Hey, listen, Aaron, what are you doing? Like, are you going to help through the process of getting this guy, ready?" Listen, yo, I'm ready to go. I'm out. Like, yo, you just flat out tried me, man.
But even if they did include Aaron Rodgers, thinking that okay, we're trying to draft a QB of the future, he's not gonna be okay with that. He's gonna say no. He's gonna say use that first round draft pick to draft a talented player that can help us win now.
And I agree. Listen, Jordan Love was, even if he was projecting top, round one, how many other teams actually needed a quarterback, and how many other teams was going to go after Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Who was Jordan Love at the time for them to say, yeah, let me move up in the draft to go draft this guy?
To me, he was a first late round, early second round
pick. Early to mid second round pick.
I'm pretty sure all the top QBs I took it in the first top 10 picks.
But like, yo, early to second round, mid second round pick, and at that point, listen, Aaron, let me meet you halfway. I'm gonna get this receiver for you, right? I'm gonna get this tight end for you. Hell, I'm gonna go get this talented running back who can catch out the backfield. I'm gonna go get him for you. But guess what? Second round, I'm gonna go after this quarterback. I need him on my roster just in case.
I think if it happened like that, I think
you talking about a whole different ballgame.
But once they drafted Jordan Love and they traded up together, I think that lit a fire under him.
That definitely.
Where it was like, okay, I'm apt now. I'm ready for the season. I'm ready to prove, I'm ready to prove to you guys I'm unreplaceable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna not only win back. I'm not going to only win MVP. I'm gonna take us far in the playoffs, and on top of that, I'm gonna win back-to-back MVP.
Exactly.
So y'all have no choice but to pay me this type of buku bread.
Yeah, no choice. And I mean, listen, I don't, you know, I don't knock him for doing it, because at the end of the day, you know, listen, he asked. I mean, not to say he asked, but it was one of those things like, yo, listen, if I need it, why not? I'm the franchise. At this point in time, I'm the franchise. And if the franchise is asking you for something and you ain't trying to give it, then listen, all right, you know, we're going to have to cut it short.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if I see that the direction that y'all headed in is not the direction I see the team needing to head in, like, yo, listen, I don't want to be any part of it. Because, yo, what are we working towards? If it's not working towards a championship, then like, yo, what's the point of us being here? Nobody says go get this veteran receiver who's going to require a lot of money to help me out. Hey, listen, through the draft, there's a lot of young cats. Get them. Let me help develop them.
And on top of that, you know, Green Bay, they keep most of their draft picks anyway.
Exactly. So like, yo, listen, I just need one receiver that's going to, you know, put us in a position to win. Like, allow me to get him the ball. And matter of fact, not just help me, it's gonna help all his other receivers.
Or shore up the defense or with a defense.
Right? So I mean, you don't do that, then guess what? You just, I mean, y'all.
Alright, so segue to our next topic. How do you feel about Davante Adams getting traded to the Las Vegas Raiders?
Man, listen, great move by the Raiders. Great move by Davante Adams.
Playing with his long best friend.
Yep, his college, you know, teammate. You know, listen, Derek Carr fed him the ball, understood what it meant. Listen, I got a number one receiver. I'm gonna feed him the ball. Now you look at that Raiders offense. You got Davante Adams, you got Hunter Renfrow, then you got Darren Waller. Yo, just those three, man. Listen, Renfrow and Waller themselves, man. Just that playoff game, that last playoff, the playoff game, they were killing it. Unfortunately, I mean, they came up short, but just those two alone, like, they didn't have like an explosive run game.
No.
But like, you adding Davante Adams into the mix, yo. And I think they're gonna add. They have enough to where they can add one more receiver.
Yeah, that's a big piece
to help out. You know, spell Davante Adams. Adams obviously gonna be your number one. You need a number two because, you know, Renfrow is your slot guy. He gonna kill you on the inside. Then you got Waller as your tight end.
No, you got a big body receiver in Davante Adams. That's after the catch, he's a bruiser. Hard to take down. So
listen. I think once again, obviously for the Raiders, and we already see that the last 2 years, honestly, they've been. Their trajectory has been going up. Like, they are on pace to, you know, making a whole lot of noise. Now, they do need to shore up that defense. I'm not even gonna lie, they need to shore up the defense. They were weak at corner. They got saved a lot by that front four being very active. You know, you had Nasib, you had the other DN. I forgot his name. But you had a good front four that was very active and that rushed the quarterback a lot, to where it's like, all right, you know, don't give them. They had time. Don't get it twisted. They had time, but it was enough to where, listen, we gonna play like our defense is gonna show up every game, and they showed up every game.
I'm surprised that they were able to break through that particular season after the controversy that happened with the coach.
Yeah.
So
with Chucky.
Yeah, so the fact that they were able to like break through and move past that controversy, make the playoffs, and now that I got Devontae Adams with Derek Carr and a draft coming up, so y'all could shore up some other pieces on defense and offense. This is going to be a particularly good year for the Las Vegas Raiders, so now they could possibly contend and see what they could do moving forward.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's going to be all in all, once again, because we just, and I'm just still baffled by this because off season just started, or the new league year just started, right? And you got a few teams that have been making not small splashes. They've been making big splashes, big moves, and they're like, yo, listen, Kansas City, Tampa, LA, y'all not finna be.
He's gonna give me this year.
Listen, y'all not gonna be just looked at as the team that's gonna roll everybody over.
Yeah.
Yo, we coming in and we like, listen, we are restaking our claim in this game.
It's crazy because a couple of years ago, the NFC conference used to be murderous row.
Yeah,
but now the AFC is starting to be stacked with talent now.
Bro, and honestly, so not just the AFC. I'm looking at this, and you talking about one division in particular.
And that's what we're going to talk about the AFC West a little bit later on.
That's just crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But yeah, man, like I said, Vegas, they definitely, they stepped their game up, and they did a great job by going out and saying, hey, listen, let's put it all out there. We need Adams, and we gonna make it work, and they made it work. So, but
to speak about that, like before we move on to the next topic, like Devontae Adams was kind of in a troubled spot right now because the Packers initially franchise tagged him.
Yeah,
and he told them
he wasn't gonna play.
I'm not playing on a tag. I want a long-term deal. So now the Packers are in a tight spot because we just paid Aaron Rodgers all this money.
That's your business.
We don't have enough money. We don't have enough salary cap space to keep
pay
you.
Both of y'all.
Because it's like, if we do that, two of you guys are gonna be eating majority of our cap. We can't just have two guys versus 11 on the field.
Listen, if I'm Devontae Adams, Rodgers, I love playing with you.
But you bring too much drama.
Not even that. Let's just talk about from a financial standpoint. Rodgers, I don't mind playing with you. However, you got paid your due. You listen, and you are at the point of saying, man, listen, you are going to retire, or you're ready.
I don't want to hear all that.
I'm not trying to hear that, because now it's my turn to get paid. I got you that MVP, right? There was a couple of games where you went out and did your thing by yourself, didn't have any receivers, but look at the numbers. I had a Pro Bowl year,
top 3
receiver in the league, and it only ended up dropping because I was injured a couple of games. And then I was gonna say something else, but you had Cooper Kupp on the other side just killing the game. So listen, why am I not able to get paid? Like, you think I'm gonna be okay with just
franchise tag? Nah, man. And if I stayed on that franchise tag, most likely they're gonna do it again next year.
Exactly, because why? They still not gonna have the cap.
Yeah.
They're not gonna have the. Technically, they ain't gonna have a cap for like three years. Yeah, Rodgers is on a 4-year deal, but 3 years, like, they're not gonna have that money to pay Devontae Adams. So it's like, listen, I gotta go where the grass is greener and where that money is a lot longer.
Where I'm gonna have a long-term security. Exactly,
and the Raiders is where it's at. So why not? And I mean, you just think about it once again. This guy he goes to any offense. He's not technically competing with anybody.
No,
he is number one. He is wide receiver one.
Automatic.
But if you look at it, listen, I am definitely number one at the Raiders. There is no other receivers there.
He was number one in Green Bay too.
He was the only one. Yeah, that's true. But now I'm the only one, and then guess what? I'm getting paid how I'm supposed to be getting paid.
And on top of that, he gets to play in a warm weather in Las Vegas.
Exactly.
Instead of the frozen tundra in Green Bay.
Exactly. So now you just look at that, like, he's really going to be killing it because, like, it's warm all year round.
Yeah.
And, only if I got to travel to, the East Coast, up north, against the Jets or whatever team, Minnesota, like
Detroit.
play those teams. Not even Detroit, because Detroit playing the dome, Minnesota playing the dome. So like for them, I'm playing inside. I ain't worried about that. But you talking about outdoor team, you know, you got the Jets,
the whole
Giants.
to me, the whole NFC North is like frozen to like cold weather teams.
But I mean, listen, like I said, good move by the Raiders, and you know, terrible move by Green Bay.
Yeah,
like
especially for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. But you know, he did say, man, listen, I did see where by me coming back, he was not going to stay because he knew the writing was going to be on the wall from a financial standpoint that, hey, listen, both of us could not get paid. And if Adams felt that, listen, he did not want to stay under that contract or work under a franchise tag, then the only option was for him to leave.
I get that, but don't complain about not contending.
Nah, it wasn't not to say. Well, you know what? That's true. You're right.
Don't complain about not
Aaron
contending.
cannot complain about that. Why? Because he brought that on himself. Like, yo, if I know I want to keep my top receiver around, you know what I got to do? I got to suck it up. Let me take a 2-year. That's going to require less money. So that, hey, listen, Adams, what you want? You want a 3-year? You want a 4-year? All right, let's work it where my 2-year don't affect your 3 or 4 year. Right? Whatever it is I got to do to sacrifice, then let me sacrifice that so you can stick around.
Does Aaron Rodgers,
that's what a leader would do.
Does Aaron Rodgers look like a type of guy that always sacrifice?
Nah. And then that's why he in this situation he in now.
All right.
Receiverless.
But on the next topic, one of the biggest blockbuster moves that happened this season was Deshaun Watson trade to the Cleveland Browns for a $230 million contract guaranteed.
Well, so let's talk the trade first, right? Because although they had nothing, well, you know what? No, they had a lot, which is why they went out and gave a lot. But on the other end of it, they still had more to where they signed this guy for that much. And it was smart by them. Why? Because Baker is just coming off of his rookie contract.
Yeah.
So that was money that was saved up for Baker in the event they decided to sign him long term. They gave up what, 3
first-round draft picks,
a third and a fourth.
Yeah.
For him, for Deshaun, and a fifth.
Yeah.
And that's like no knock on it, right? I'm going to tread. So I'm the owner for the Browns, right? I am going to tread lightly on giving up 3 firsts. Yes, I understand this guy is young. Yes, I understand this guy is electric. However, this guy has civil lawsuits pending against him. So I'm going to tread lightly as to what I am going to ultimately give out, because I still don't know what the NFL is going to do to this guy.
I have a story I want to share with you before but continue.
So maybe 2 firsts, a second, and a third. I can't give you 3 firsts. I'm gonna give you 2 firsts, a second, and a third, or 2 firsts, a second, and a fourth. I'm gonna give you those because it's essentially saving me. Let's say, once again, all right, this year I know I'm dead out of the water. I cannot do anything this year first round. Next year, if I got 2, all right, well, dang, I can't do anything. I gotta wait 3 years before I have a first round draft pick. Nah, hey, this year I'm gonna give you 2 of my firsts. Well, I'm gonna give you 2 of my firsts, so that's this year, and then next year possibly if I don't have another first round this year. And then, hey, listen, I'll give you my second round next year. Hell, I'll give you my second round this year because I know I don't need enough. I mean, I don't need anything else for right now, right? I'm good. On offense, I got a lot. Defense, I got a lot.
Yeah.
I don't need anything, right? So here go my second round for this year as well, right? Here goes also my third round for this year, right? Or if you want to take it next year, you can take my third round for next year. But here's what I'm giving you right now: 2 firsts, a second, and a third. But 3 firsts, bro, that's 2 this year, or 1 this year, 2 next year, and then I gotta wait 3 years
to actually
have a decent draft pick. Yeah. Now, under all of that is who else? Cooper just got paid. We know that, right? Hunt, I believe, is due for a contract next year. Then you have Chubbs, who's due for a contract next year because his rookie contract is about to expire. But once again, who else do I have as and Njoku just got paid, so I'm good on that tight end wise. But what other receivers do I have? Like, we're also just getting rid of Juice.
They're going to draft within the third or fourth round.
And that's, by that time, talent-wise, listen, yes, you can have a lot of sleepers come third, fourth.
You're basically hoping at that point.
You're hoping. So it's like, man, yo, listen, I got to give up the farm to get this guy to, once again, not know exactly what the NFL is going to end up doing. That'll hurt me. So, you know what, let me tread lightly on this. But, you know what, listen, that's just my thoughts.
So I want to go into a whole story of how this thing conspired. So I was watching this kind of a little bit closely. So how it transpired. I want to intertwine the two topics right quick with Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield. So initially, stories was coming out publicly. This what made it bad. Publicly, that the Browns were trying to move on from Baker Mayfield. They said that they wanted an adult QB for the franchise.
Which is a slap in the face.
Yeah, which was a slap in the face to Baker Mayfield. So Baker Mayfield found that out the same way we found that out, via online.
Yeah. And
that was even more disrespectful. They didn't even come talk to him or nothing about that. So Baker Mayfield is finding all that out about what's going on. They're because apparently there was a Deshaun Watson sweepstakes. There were multiple teams that was trying to get after Deshaun Watson. It was the Cleveland Browns, it was the Atlanta Falcons, it was
Panthers.
The Saints, Panthers, all these teams, they were trying to go after them. And the Cleveland Browns were the most boisterous out of all the teams that were trying to go after Deshaun Watson in front of Baker Mayfield. And Baker Mayfield is seeing that. That's like you in a relationship with a female, and the female is talking to the other dude while she with you, and then she realized that she can't get that dude, so now she comes back to you.
And it's not just talking to the other dude. She's like openly flirting with this other dude in front in front of everybody.
Damn near propose.
Like
I want to marry you type stuff. So that was a big slap in the face to Baker Mayfield, and Baker Mayfield at that point requested a trade, and rightfully so. I don't blame him. You can't get mad at, like, you feel like I'm not the QB of the future, and on top of that, you're requesting a QB from another team that you want to trade. All right, I don't want to be here no more. Yeah. Especially if you can't get Deshaun Watson. So come to find out, rumors had it that the Cleveland Browns were out of the running for Deshaun Watson.
It was just then, 2 days?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
So then Baker Mayfield, I want to be traded. You disrespect me. The bridge is burned. There's no way we could...
No coming back from that.
Yeah, there's no way I could work and be comfortable and thinking that, this is going to be okay. He put out a tweet saying that I'm sorry for the seat. Thank you there, because I gave the city my all. I tried my best. It didn't work out the way I thought it would work out. I want greener pastures elsewhere. And then the Browns, they try to damage control the situation by saying, we're not gonna request his trade request because we still want you as our QB after they was out of the running. So there was a damage control, so that didn't work. So now it's damn, we're out of the Deshaun Watson trade, and Baker wants to leave us. If we lose both these QBs, we're screwed. Because I don't see a QB in the draft right now that's good, that could possibly lead us to. And we have a playoff contending team right now. So now that we could possibly lose out on two QBs, we have to pivot and make a big move. So that's why I think they made this big off-season move, giving up 3 first-round draft picks and multiple picks. They we basically if we're not gonna, we're gonna have to give you a deal that you can't refuse. And that's how I thought the deal got made for Deshaun Watson, where we're gonna give you all the money guaranteed. We're gonna give you an offer you can't refuse. And who's gonna say no to $230 million guaranteed?
Now, so here's my thought on the $230 guaranteed, right? Because there has not been any. Well, you know what? Since Kirk Cousins, nobody's contract has ever been fully guaranteed. Kirk Cousins was the last one, full contract, fully guaranteed. But $230, right? So he has 22 civil lawsuits against him. So for him, it was, I need my entire contract. Hell, it could have been 150 million that you give me, but I need that fully guaranteed. Why? Because now I gotta start paying these people off.
Not even that. I feel like it had to be a lot more than 150 mil, because he could have got 150 mil, like at least half the contract guaranteed from other teams. So the Browns had to give him an offer. Of course.
No, ain't no doubt. But what I'm saying is he still had to have had a large amount fully guaranteed. Why? Because at the end of the day, listen, I got 22 civil lawsuits against me. How many, like, I gotta get, let's say at a minimum, I'm paying $1 million to these, women, the 22 different women that, allege that I did this, right? Mm-hmm. If I'm giving $1 million to each one of them, hush money, that's 22 mil I gotta give up. So ain't no way I can go into this saying, all right, give me a $150 million contract, but I only want like, 10 million guaranteed. What's the rest gonna have? Like, that's not gonna work out for me. So, give me the full, and that's exactly what broke. I mean, it made the decision for him a lot easier when it was, because he was still, listen, you talking about offenses that have a better upside than Cleveland. Listen, just a team name has a better, ring to it than the Cleveland Browns. He had the Saints.
He had the Saints.
Like, he
Carolina.
had Atlanta. He could have went back home.
Yeah, he had Atlanta.
So for him, it was like, man, listen, that's probably the only team that's gonna give me 230 fully guaranteed. Like you said, he probably was gonna get something else. From somewhere else.
I'm pretty sure those teams I just mentioned, they would have gave him 150 mil guaranteed, but
and that's what I'm saying. They gave him probably like $150 or something like that, because they're looking at Aaron Rodgers numbers, right? Aaron Rodgers just won a Super. He just won MVP. But Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl. Deshaun Watson, you ain't won a Super Bowl yet. You ain't win MVP yet. So why are we putting out that kind of money for you?
But we're giving him that type of money based off the potential that he could.
Listen, I ain't worried about that. It's what have you done for me lately? And all these other teams are also looking at the same thing. Like, I need to know what is going to happen behind these, civil lawsuits, right? If I don't know what Roger Goodell is going to end up doing tomorrow with you after signing,
is he
contract.
Suspended?
Yeah, he got suspended 8 games. Suspended 8 games. But my thing is like, if I don't know exactly what's going to happen with you after I sign you, like, I can't guarantee you like 230 million. Now, Browns, hey, listen, I don't care.
The Browns are a trash franchise. So
I'm gonna take whatever.
Broke.
They going for broke, and
especially
they
that they don't, because I know they don't want Baker Mayfield, but they don't want Baker Mayfield to leave them if they don't get nothing out of return.
That's
so
true.
now they have no problem either get rid of Baker Mayfield or trading him.
Listen, they have no choice but to trade this guy right now, and that's exactly where they are. They are going to trade him because why? Listen, why go trade for this guy, Deshaun Watson, to pay him $230 million, right? And then go and sign a serviceable backup in Jacoby Brissett. There is no future for Baker Mayfield in Cleveland anymore.
But that was at the time where they were before they was out of the running for Deshaun Watson.
Where we at right now is that, there is no future for Baker Mayfield in Cleveland after not only signing or trading for Deshaun Watson and giving this guy $230 million guaranteed, fully guaranteed, and then going out to sign Jacoby Brissett as a serviceable backup. Like, if they would have said, we don't need to go get a backup quarterback to Deshaun Watson, then it would have been like, okay, a little glimmer of hope for Baker Mayfield, because we still know that Deshaun is going to be suspended for a certain amount of games. We don't know how many games.
But that's y'all guys' fault. That is
true. That is my fault.
If they didn't make this trade so public and disrespectful to Baker Mayfield, they probably could have kept it still would. Nah,
it still would have happened. If you are Baker, and I, as the Browns, say absolutely nothing to you about trading you, possibly not saying anything about.
They didn't say nothing to him. He found out the way we found out.
If I hadn't done any of those things, right, and you are my franchise quarterback at the moment, you're my franchise quarterback, I said nothing, did nothing. I just said, hey, listen, I work behind closed doors. And then I decided, you know what, let me go ahead and trade for an electric quarterback like that. You being Baker Mayfield, what's your next thoughts?
I want to get traded.
You still want to get traded. Regardless of me saying and or doing anything. You just went and got another young dude and paid this dude $230.
Money I'm never gonna see in life.
I'm not going to ever see now because guess what? I'm now.
I mean, he was never gonna see that money, even if Deshaun Watson wasn't gonna be on the team.
True, but now I'm definitely not gonna see this, and I am now, at most, a serviceable backup on the Cleveland Browns. You think I'm gonna stay there?
I see with the chip on his shoulder that Baker Mayfield has. He doesn't see himself as a backup QB. He still thinks he can start in this league, and for bad teams he can.
Of course, for bad teams he can. But at the end of the day, listen, the decision was made, and now, what's next for him is the fact that I need to go find me another team to be on. And right now he's looking at Colts. He's saying he preferred. He said he want to get traded
to Colts, but how I look at it, you don't really have no leverage to ask where you want to get traded because whatever we just gave up a haul for Deshaun Watson, and we paid him all this money. So now we're gonna trade you to where we could get the best offer.
Exactly. Now you know where I would, or what if I'm him, right? Let the cards play however it play. Go to whatever team. Sign a 1-year contract because you're coming off of a rookie contract. Sign a 1-year contract, 10 years. Then next year, as a free agent, go ahead and sign with the Colts. Right, because that's honestly where you are.
If they haven't picked if they haven't got a QB by then.
That's true, but you gotta think about it. Who is out there now for them to go get as a quarterback?
No, I'm just saying they could possibly
pick up somebody. Draft. Yeah, they could draft somebody, but this draft there isn't a quarterback who I can exactly. There isn't a big name quarterback who I can trust for the next couple of years. Now. Listen, as a Colts, if I say, listen, let me go ahead and draft this dude, let me draft somebody this year just to hold me over for the year, right? And then knowing that Baker could potentially be a free agent next year, well, let me wait until this guy becomes a free agent. Go ahead and pick him up.
Soft salary kit.
Exactly.
And play him out for the year, see how good he is.
Exactly.
If he's good, we re-sign him. If not, then we draft.
And if anything, even if I do say, let me sign him long term, let me give this guy a 2, 3 year, 4 year deal. 4 year deal. Let me give him $120 million. That's nothing to him. So now they're good. They're safe on both sides because one, we drafted a quarterback who is in development mode, right? He needs to develop into an NFL quarterback, right? And then we didn't rush the process and trade and give up a lot for this guy.
Yeah.
And we said, well, let's wait a year.
We keep our assets while we save money on this other
Exactly. So, is it going to hurt them?
No.
Nah.
But these are the teams, as regards for what's next for Baker Mayfield, the teams that he could possibly go to is, he could go to the Jets, he could go to the Steelers, he could go to the Indianapolis Colts, or he could go to the Houston Texans.
Texans already said they don't want him.
Oh, they did it?
Texans already said. That's why they didn't include him in the draft. In the trade.
Okay.
Texans didn't want him.
He could go to the New York Giants. He could go to the Chicago Bears. He's not
going to Chicago. Chicago believe in Justin Fields. They think Justin Fields is the future, which I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah, because they just drafted him. So
yeah, he
could go to Detroit.
Detroit is on the table. Jared Goff is not. I don't think. After this year, probably won't. He ain't gonna be there. They got a lot of.
Can you imagine how Jared Goff feels right now, bro? After seeing the Rams just win a Super Bowl.
Idiot, bro. The year I get traded, and the same thing for the Lions, bro. We both swapped quarterbacks. Quarterback I just had went over there, won the Super Bowl. Quarterback I just had.
And I'm in NFL,
I just left that team.
I'm in NFL Siberia,
bro.
I'd have been punching air.
Bro. I would have been tight.
Punching air.
I would have been tight because I was just on that team. Hell, we went to the Super Bowl one year when I was there and we didn't live up to it. Granted, we was playing against,
the Patriots.
But
they beat Tom Brady on the way to get to the Super Bowl.
True, but it's still God.
And you put up 9. I think you put up 9 points.
9 points. That was one of the most electric offenses in the league that year, exactly. And then we only put up 9 points in the Super Bowl.
So that just shows you how much a quarterback is important.
Oh yeah. No doubt.
But another team he could possibly go to is the New Orleans Saints. He could go to the Falcons, Carolina.
Falcons want Matty Ice.
Matty Ice. I'll take Matty Ice over Baker Mayfield
all day.
And Seahawks.
The Seahawks, yeah. I mean, Seahawks don't have anybody now. This is the same. They in the same boat. Seahawks, let's go and get this guy, from through draft, and let's go through the year with what we have. Let's try to develop somebody through the draft, and if it works out, it works out. If it doesn't, hey, listen, this guy's on a 1-year contract wherever else he goes.
Soft cap hit. We could continue looking for the future.
So, I'm okay with that, and like I said, Seattle I don't think is a bad move. I just think at this point in time it's a bad move. They don't want to go after this guy because now you're gonna risk losing draft picks that you don't have. No,
not trade for him. Just
if it's not trading for him, then listen, by all means go after the guy.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
But he's at the point of
I don't mean trade for him.
He's at the point of wherever he goes, he has to be traded.
Unless it's a 6th round or 7th round.
He's not restricted. He's not a free agent at all.
If it's not a 6th or 7th round pick, I'm not giving him no trading.
That's true. Because honestly, y'all don't need this guy. And if y'all want to, tick and tat over a couple of million, or a couple of rounds or whatever it is, then listen, I ain't gonna lie, y'all can keep him, and then see what y'all best offer will be for him. And then guess what? Next year when he becomes free agent, y'all can keep him. Yeah. He becomes free agent. Now y'all gonna lose him for nothing.
We'll give him a 1-year proven deal.
I'm just thinking from a team to team standpoint. Yeah. Like, y'all keep him. Next year he's gonna be a free agent, so y'all might as well get what y'all can for him now. And if it's a 6th round pick, by all means take this 6th round. Yeah. You're getting a draft pick out of it.
Especially after all the draft pick I just lost.
Exactly. Like, I'm not gonna give you nothing better than a 4th.
Nothing better, yeah.
Nothing better than a 4th.
I don't think a 4th to me. I'm not giving a 4th. I'm like 5th through 7th. That's the range I'll give him.
And that's best offer, honestly, because the guy has not proven anything, and it is what it is. So if you want to take that, take it. If you don't want to, then listen. I don't know what to tell you, my guy. Right, don't know what to tell you.
With the last topic now is how stacked is the AFC West with all these contenders in the
AFC West. Listen, they are stacked. However, being stacked and being competitive, they're going to be competitive. Being stacked, competitive, and dangerous is the question, right? Because Denver just got Russ. These moves have been made, right? You got the Raiders having Devontae Adams. You got, like I said, Denver having Russ.
Khalil Mack going to
Khalil Mack and that defense on the Chargers. Like Kansas City, they added Juju.
Still the team to beat.
But you got to look at it. If y'all still got to be able to put it all together. Because with what the Chiefs did, all we did was add one person. We didn't change up the whole frame of our team. Same thing with the Chargers. They added one or two. No, I think added 2 pieces to them, but it's still nothing that can change up the entire dynamic of their team. So the Raiders, you added a receiver, but now you got to change your offense to fit this receiver, because this receiver requires and demands a lot.
Yeah.
Right? Denver, you got to change the entire offense because this quarterback runs a completely different type of offense.
Yeah.
So you got to change your entire thing towards him. But I think, yes, the Chiefs still is the team to beat, but I think this is their final year as that team to beat.
But you look at it like this, like the season that just passed. The Chiefs finished number 1, Raiders finished number 2, Chargers finished number 3, and Broncos finished number 4. Broncos just traded for Russell Wilson, and now I don't see them finishing 4th. I don't see none of these teams. I don't know who's gonna finish.
And that's
4th.
the tough thing to say, right? So each of them, you're talking about. All right, so what is that? 6 games between the four of them, right? They got to play each other twice, right? So one of those teams, nobody's going to go undefeated, right, in the division, right? They're all probably going to end up being 1-1, right, against each other. Yeah. Right? They're going to split the seasons, the season.
I still have the Chiefs being top, but I wouldn't be surprised if two of these teams go to the playoffs.
And that is what I'm looking at, right? Two of those teams is guaranteed to go to the playoffs because last year two of them went to the playoffs, right? But I see it as all right. So I'm gonna go out on a limb. My prediction is that the Chargers will be number 4.
Yeah. To be honest, I had Raiders possibly being number 4.
Nah.
Just because of Russell Wilson getting drafted.
You know what?
Because who's the worst QB in this division?
Derek Carr.
All right.
Derek Carr is. Okay. No lie. Derek Carr is. However, now you got to look at it. Derek Carr has a elite receiver.
Right, but still.
So that's what makes this thing scary because Derek Carr has an elite receiver, and yes, although Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the division, you put Derek Carr in any other division, and Derek Carr is probably one of the best quarterbacks in that division.
You stack him up against Mahomes,
that
Wilson,
is true.
Hubert.
And listen, he is young, yes, but he is up and coming. Herbert is going to be he's on this trajectory of obviously the next best,
like Josh Allen and all those guys.
Yes. And I think honestly he's going to be there faster than Josh Allen. Josh Allen took 4 or 5 years to get there.
Yeah,
he's going to be a lot faster.
Some players need time to develop.
Yeah, because of the system that you're in. Yeah, I get that. But Herbert is going to be. He's there. I think they need to fix up a little bit more of how they're actually running the offense to give him a little bit more confidence in making sure he's getting the ball to the right, because he does turn the ball over, which is a knock on him. However,
he's a big play player. He wants to.
But I think once again with what they have in that division, if somebody in the AFC West does not represent in the Super Bowl,
or at least the AFC Championship game,
they're gonna one of them, somebody in that division is going to represent in the championship for sure. If they do not represent in the Super Bowl, the way they're putting together, because I'm just looking at it, the only other team outside of the AFC West that can compete in the championship is the Bengals, because they did it last year. I think with how their team is comprised,
that depends. Are they gonna short their offensive line? Because
word around is that they are going to, in the draft, go after some big O linemen. But I mean, listen, they're talented.
Buffalo Bills are contenders too.
Bills are garbage.
I'm
sorry, AFC East.
No. I'm talking about them making the playoffs.
AFC East. I am not siding with anybody. I don't care. Dolphin for life.
You didn't see that battle.
I don't give a.
You didn't see that.
I do not care.
You didn't see that battle with the Bills.
I'm very biased.
You didn't see that battle with the Bills and the Chiefs.
Yes, but I'm very biased.
I get that.
Dolphins. If it's not the Dolphins, I don't care for them. It's either the Dolphins.
We'll see how Tua matches up.
Yeah, and that's tough because listen, I want for the Dolphins to do great, but we have this crutch.
The Bills are the team to beat in the AFC East for the foreseeable future. You saw what they did to. You saw what they did to New England. You saw what they did to them.
Yeah. The Dolphins did it to New England too.
Yeah.
We beat them. Listen, the first time in the last 2 years we beat them twice in the season. So listen, but honestly. So all right, let's just look at it, right? Each division, how I think will break down. I think that the 1, 2, 3, 4 in the East is going to be the same. You had the Bills 1, and listen, Patriots, Mac Jones. I ain't gonna lie, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, they're gonna be a problem.
Mac is gonna be a problem. So I see him still edging out the Dolphins, unfortunately. So they'll be the number 2. The Dolphins gonna be number 3.
Just stay where they at.
Jets gonna stay where they at. They might as well go to the
college.
Go to college. High school. Go to high school. And then you got the AFC North. You got. Listen. this is going to be a bounce back year for the Ravens.
Yeah,
I think Ravens are going to bounce back.
They got ravaged last season.
They did.
Trees.
I think this year, even after having a down year, still edging out to be 8-9. Not, I mean, yes, under 500.
That just showed that they were healthy.
Exactly. They would have been in the playoffs for sure. So I think Ravens still might be number 2. So I'm gonna go Bengals, Ravens, and
I think Steelers gonna be last.
Well, yeah, sorry, because even with Cleveland having Deshaun sitting for 8 games, I think they'll still be able to edge out and be, number 3.
Yeah.
So I'll say
Steelers. There's so much question marks about them.
They don't even know who their quarterback is yet.
Yeah. So
still
maybe they'll address it in the draft.
I mean, yeah, they have no choice.
Yeah.
But you're still looking at it. I mean, is it somebody who's going to be able to take over now?
I doubt it.
Deshaun Haskins is there, but Haskins was trash. So
yeah.
The South.
That's Titans to lose.
Yeah.
Maybe the Colts could be competitive if they get a QB.
If they get a quarterback, yeah, because they got everything else around them. Just don't have a quarterback.
Texans, they're gonna be the basement team. Jags will finish 3. I don't see Surfer Boy. Trevor Lawrence. I don't see.
I mean, they got a couple of receivers. Christian Kirk over there.
It's not his time yet.
But yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's not his time.
Yeah.
So and the thing is, even if offensively they were to step it up, the defense is garbage. They have nobody on defense, so it's they traded Miles Jack, so it's like
Ramsey,
So it's like, yo, who do they have now? Yeah. So Jags, unfortunately, they got another 3-4 years where they're going to be the bottom of the barrel.
And that's if, Surfer Boy don't want to leave or not.
Listen, if I'm him, and I see that the Colts is open next year, yo, force it. Yo, trade me. Now, granted, they may not say, all right, let's trade them in the division.
That's going to look bad, but...
Listen, I need to go where I'm going to succeed, because if not, you talking about my career only being 6-7 years.
And then they're going to call me a bust.
Exactly.
When there's a horrible front office. Exactly. That's the reason I'm not thriving.
So I think that's just,
smart business player.
Yeah. But, I mean, and then, like I said, the West, listen, this year, I'm going to still give it to the Chiefs.
Me too.
Because they have that continuity. They've been together for a while. So I think it's still going to be Chiefs.
I got Broncos finishing number 2. I got Raiders finishing. I got Broncos finishing number 2. I got Chargers finishing number 3, and I got the Raiders finishing last.
I think I like that. That's not bad. And once again, still with everybody with a winning record. That's gonna be tough, but I think every one of them gonna be a winning record. Because you gotta think about it, right? So let's say Raiders lose all their games in that division. That's 6 games. And they just win out all of the rest of the games, which I still see as doable.
Yeah.
You talking about still having a winning record.
Yeah.
Even if they were to lose 2 more to outside division, teams, that's still a winning record.
Or at least split the division games in 3.
Right. Like, seriously, that's a winning record.
Yeah.
So, and I don't see how any of those teams are not able to do that.
And even with that, you're still not promised to make wild card.
True. That is true.
That's how stacked this division is.
It's extremely stacked, man. Like I said, man, it's gonna be crazy. And like I said, we still have another couple of weeks left of free agency.
Who knows the draft.
The draft is coming up. What is it, April 28th or something like that? Man, listen, it's a lot that's about to happen over the next couple of weeks, and I ain't gonna lie, I'm excited to see what's about to happen, man. I'm about to, this next year is going to be bananas. We said that about NBA, and it sure is. And unfortunately, listen, we weren't able to talk about NBA today, but man, I think our next episode we definitely got to backtrack a whole lot of stuff that we missed out on
with the NBA.
Yeah, about NBA, and just catch up, and then just keep going, because the NBA, the MVP race has changed drastically.
Yep.
So I'm excited to see how that's gonna play out, and like I said, NFL, I'm excited to see how this thing gonna play out.
Yeah.
But, man, listen. Ooh, that was a lot. We unpacked a lot. What else? You got anything else? Look, we just talked. Bengals got an O-lineman.
Oh wow, that's
Leo Collins. So
that's from the Cowboys.
Yeah, they're doing what they gotta do to start saying, "Hey, listen, Burrow, we giving you some help."
Yep.
So, man,
addressing the offensive season and draft.
Exactly. So, man, things is happening, man. Things is happening. So, man, anything else you want to leave out, man? I mean, before we get up out of here, man.
Well, it's gonna be another episode with Just Talking with Jeffrey, and it's another episode of Elo Speaks Podcast. Make sure to follow me on all my social medias, my YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Big moves are being made on my channel. Make sure to follow me on my Facebook. I do also have a Elo Speaks group chat where we can also talk about sports, etc. You know, I want to hear you guys' opinions on what you think, and let me know in the comment section on our channels what you think, and give your opinions on that. And that's what I got up for it.
All right, man. Well, listen, man. It's your boy Jeffrey, aka Papa J, man, and this is another episode of Just Talking with Jeffrey. We out of here.
Peace.
Coming in, yeah, flex. I just wanna win, yeah. LA BB, who we running with, yeah. 2 2 3 3, I'm on 10 again.